Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. More information about a man found dead in Linton Park Reserve has been released by police. This year's Rotorua Blues Festival is going to be one to be remembered, and the Chiefs Secondary School's rugby competition kicks off this weekend. More information about a man found dead in Linton Park Reserve has been released, as police are yet to receive any information that will assist with identifying him. He was found on Monday morning, and it is likely he died at the reserve sometime over the weekend. His death is not believed to be suspicious, but it is important to police that he is identified and returned to his family. Police are estimating his age as in his 20s, but don't want anyone to rule out someone who is older or younger based on this estimate. He has no tattoos, but he does have two significant scars on his right inner forearm. He has short cropped hair and thin razored, well-groomed sideburns and facial hair. Detective Sergeant Tony Colby says the location where he was found would suggest that he is either local or familiar with the area, and police find it extremely difficult to believe that this man hasn't have any friends and family who may simply have not noticed him missing yet. Anyone with information is asked to urgently contact Rotorua Police. This year's Rotorua Blues Festival is going to be one to be remembered. The annual event is presented by the Bay of Plenty Blues Club and is well supported by the community. Club President Simon Elton says this year's festival will feature a range of performances with special live entertainment at the new and improved Eat Street.
We encourage families to come down here. Most of the activities are free to everybody, so come on down. Mum, Dad, bring the kids down. You'll have a wonderful time.
As well as the popularity of it as a genre, if you like, you're very keen that more and more young people can come through and appreciate it and learn it and go on with it, so you haven't left them out.
Absolutely. It's part of our constitution that we promote blues amongst the youth. And so we've done all sorts of things to try and bring youth in. But this year, over the past 12 months, Simon and Mike Garner, our president, have put together a youth band, and they've been training them, and it's really progressed to the point now where they've done 2 public gigs.
What sort of age group are we talking about?
All in their early teens, sort of 14 to 17, I think.
Still at college, basically.
Yeah, they're definitely kids, and they're fantastic.
The Rotorua Blues Festival is on from May the 28th. The work of nurses and midwives has been recognised by Lakes DHB. Linda White has won Nurse of the Year, with Midwife of the Year going to Mandy Griffiths. And congratulations to all the winners in this year's Nursing and Midwifery Awards. For a full rundown of winners, visit lakesdhb.govt.nz. The Coast Guard is currently in its 4th annual May Day fundraising appeal to raise much needed money for its vital volunteer training program. Local Coast Guard volunteer Barry Gruby says the appeal is calling on people to donate an hour of their pay to help train some of the nearly 2,500 Coast Guard volunteers.
We need volunteers for every part of Coast Guard, not only just on the boat and being active volunteers, as we say. We need volunteers in administration, fundraising roles. Anybody that is interested in joining Coast Guard is to give us a call and come down, have a chat and see what they might be interested in doing. But the more the merrier.
In sport tonight, the Chiefs Region Secondary School's First 15 competition will kick off this weekend for the 3rd consecutive year. Top-ranked schools in counties Manukau, Waikato, Bay of Plenty, Timms Valley and King Country will play in the 2-tier competition for the Chiefs Cup and the Chiefs Trophy. Rotorua Boys High School First 15 is playing in the top tier for the Chiefs Cup and kick off their campaign this weekend. On Saturday, Boys High face Minuera High School. Kick-off is at 12:30 p.m. For more information, visit chiefs.co.nz. To your weather update now. Tonight, showers with breezes, an overnight low of 9. Tomorrow, Friday, showers and northwesterly winds, a high of 15 and a low of 6. And the outlook for Saturday, fine with southwesterly winds, a high of 15 and a low of 4. And the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Friday, northwest 10 knots easing to variable 5 knots in the evening, with waves less than half a metre, and there'll be fair visibility in showers clearing at night. Still to come in tonight's program, we're at Skyline to check out their latest ride, Zoom Zipline. We also meet the ride's designer.
2, 1. Yoo-hoo! Yeah. There you go. There you go. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Yoo-hoo! Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yoo-hoo!
Kia ora everybody, well it's my pleasure to be here at Skyline Sky Rides. They've got a new attraction, a Zoom Zipline. Zooming all the way down the hill, and this man here, Ron Betts, is from Zoom Zipline in Canada.
Yeah, you bet.
Kia ora, Ron. So tell me a little bit about this wonderful new attraction.
They're beautiful, they're a great way to see the forest, but what we call ours is a zipline on steroids. This thing is 385 meters. I was playing around the other day trying to find my top speed, and I got up to 76 kilometers an hour. So people that are a little heavier than me will probably get up to 80 or even 80 plus. So it's a heck of a ride. It's unbelievable. And then we have a few secret surprises at the bottom that keep people having fun as well.
Well, I just have to ask, those people that are very, very well endowed, they're not going to go flipping off the edge and, you know, out to the lake, are they?
You know what? We have one of the best braking systems in the world on this thing. It's really cool. It's funny when you talk to people who have done zip lines before. A lot of people have done them other parts of the world, and sometimes in, you know, countries in South America, wherever they've done them. And we always ask, what was the brake system? And some people go, oh, it was a leather glove I had to put on, or they had a tire on the tree or something like that. Our system is called a zip stop, and what that is basically a series of ropes that go through a big reel. As the rider comes in and makes impact with the braking system, it's a slow deceleration, so you're not coming in and stopping really quickly. You come into the brake system and you actually slowly come onto the deck, so it's probably the best brake system in the world.
So you've come out from Canada especially for this build. What's that process been? How long have you been here?
It's been amazing. I think the hardest part, honestly, as a tourist in a new country, has been to stay focused on the build, and we had kind of goals along the way that we wanted to hit. So Easter was a big one we wanted to get open, but honestly it's such a beautiful country and it's so awesome being here that it's been really hard to stay focused, and the ocean is like right there. I love to go surfing, and it's so hard to stay on the job site and not take off for a day and go over to the ocean. But no, this is, I mean, you look around here and the scenery that we have off the launch platform is probably one of the most beautiful zipline launches I've ever been at.
Thank you very much for all of the work that you've done to make this available to all of us.
Oh yeah, you're going to try it, I hope?
Well, I hope so too. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Well, here I am with Todd McLean now, our MP. He's our member in Parliament. Todd, you are always out in public like this, and you're always putting yourself into precarious positions. Is it just part of the job?
Well, it's a fun part of the job, Kerry. As you might know, I was made Associate Minister of Tourism earlier this year. I'm also Minister of Revenue, so that's much less interesting and exciting, although important. But as Associate Minister of Tourism, I now have an opportunity to see all over the country the quite amazing things that we have to offer when it comes to tourism. And I've got to say, hand on heart, not just because I'm a local Member of Parliament, but I'm yet to really see anywhere in the country that does it as well as we do here in Rotorua.
Agreed. I second that. I second it strongly, actually, because Rotorua is an amazing place. I've been here 13 years now, and I'm always discovering something new. So how is this going to help us keep heading towards that tourism mecca title that we deserve of the South Pacific?
Well, I guess if we think about Rotorua 10 or 15 years ago when it came to tourism, it was the #1 tourist attraction place in the country. But everywhere has worked out that when tourists come, they spend money, it's good for the local economy, it means jobs. And so everybody is trying to do what we're doing. I think there's more than enough space in New Zealand because we have great numbers of visitors coming from all over the world. But the one thing that I hear from people is they say, we used to go to Rotorua when we were young, it's really good, but we've been there and done that. So it's not that we need to keep reinventing ourselves, but we need to keep fresh and keep positive and keep building on that reputation. reputation. So here today at Skyline Sky Rides, this really typifies all that's happening in Rotorua. Over the last 4 or 5 years of the recession, they have been investing and growing their offering, keeping it fresh, making it new, and inviting others to come in and invest. So any moment now, I'm about to put on the helmet, get up on the zip line, throw myself off a mountain, and isn't it amazing that people from all over the world will visit New Zealand and come to Rotorua and pay money to jump off good things?
Yeah, it is. And you're going to open it up. We're going to start it. It's going to be the launch this evening, isn't it?
That's right. So Mayor Steve Chadwick and I will come along, a few speeches, cut a ribbon, and we'll see. I might challenge her to a race. But look, all over Rotorua, people are thinking deeply about what it is we offer. We can't be complacent. We can't take for granted that people visit here. We've got a huge amount to offer. We've got to make sure that we're doing our very best, that every visitor that comes here has the very best experience. Skyline Sky Rides and the team here are doing a great job, but Te Puia, the rafting guys, the mountain biking, almost everything we do well. We've got to continue to make sure we're doing our very best.
Well, thank you very much, Todd. Can I be the one to push you?
Absolutely. I need a push. It's much higher than they told me it was going to be. I was very brave until I walked down the stairs with your kids. I'm not so sure now.
Wonderful. We will look forward to seeing you flying over the edge. Thank you, Todd.
Great.
Kia ora everybody, the top of Mount Nongataha, the gondolas. We've come up here to Skyline Sky Rides and this magnificent facility. The managing director up here is going to tell me a little bit about a new activity that they've got, a zip line. Kia ora, Bruce.
Kia ora, Kitty.
So you are the managing director, the man at the helm of this very large operation. What does it take?
Skyline's been here for 26 years. So it's part of it's a Rotorua institution. So I'm the guardian at the moment, and it's a great place to work. Really enjoy it.
And you've got this new activity coming up, the zip line. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, Zoom Zipline. It's a Canadian company. We've been in communications with them probably since about 2007. In effect, they were looking at a site. We have luge in Canada, and they first became aware of the luge in Tremblant, and then we set up a luge in Calgary. And we looked at sites together of where could we put zipline and luge. And one of the first sites we looked at was actually Stockholm. So this has been a conversation that's been years in the coming, and at last we've brought it to Rotorua, and we think it's going to be a resounding success.
Wonderful. Is it the first in the country?
Yes, for Zoom Zipline. So it's. I'll let Ron talk a little bit more about the statistics on that. But it's close to 400 metres long. Riders will be going up to 80 kilometres an hour, and it's using latest technology. It's a great ride.
So Minister Todd McClay is here. He's going to be going on it with you. How did you rope him into that one?
Oh, he's always up for a challenge, and it's great that we have him in the city, and it's great to have him come up and ride. And I know he enjoys the luge, as does most Kiwis, and I know he's going to love this one.
Somewhere to bring his kids with him. He's quite good at doing that, isn't he?
Yeah, his kids love it, and no doubt that they'll love this ride as much as the luge.
So tell me what the logistics have been of actually getting it in. You've obviously had to cut a pathway through the trees down there. And the construction of it, how long did that take?
The construction was relatively quick. It was more the design and the process prior to that. Construction, they started in January, and so around 12 weeks.
And has there been a lot of interest in it?
A lot of interest. Obviously over the summer period, riders riding the luge. So we hosted a lot of people over the summer holiday, and there were a lot of questions about what is this, when does it open, and we'll be coming back to ride it.
Okay, so for our audience at home, what is it, when does it open, and how much will it cost to ride it?
The official opening is today, so she's ready to rock and roll now. The ride price, so if you're an annual pass holder, there's a discount for local card holders. The best way to buy it is a package with luge, gondola and zipline at the bottom. And or you could buy it at the top if you haven't purchased it at the bottom. Priced from a child at $35, For your second ride of the day, it's $25. And to buy an all-day pass or a half-day pass, actually, which includes a gondola, 5 luge rides, a sky swing, and the zip line, so it fills in half your day, $129 for an adult.
That's actually that's a pretty jam-packed day full of fun for not too much.
It is.
You've also, we've just been in the cafe, and if I've got chocolate cake on my teeth, there's a reason for it. It's because it's one of the best chocolate cakes I've ever tried up here. You've got quite an impressive food court as well. How long did that take to get to where it is now?
The market kitchen's been open for a year now, so we spent $500,000 in that last December. And the feedback's just been fantastic. You know, we tried to take it away from just punnets of chips and heated up pies and a cup of coffee. And, you know, we've got tandoor ovens, a bakery, pizzeria, ice cream parlour, and the espresso coffee and bar. So it really works well, and the guests are loving it.
They are loving it. You can see them all already very early in the morning at the moment. They're teeming everywhere. So it's obviously been a great success. Tell me a little bit about what you've done to make that happen.
Well, I mean, we're very lucky that the site's very popular. 7 out of 10 of our guests are Kiwis, and over 50% are repeat. So we have a lot of people coming again and again. So that's a nice base. So we host over 400,000 people. So when you've got that sort of volume coming through, it's nice just to keep innovating and continuously improving the property. And the company owners are very confident in the strength of Rotorua, the opportunities in tourism. And just having a classic icon like this, they have no problems investing and keeping the property great and looking fresh.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time. We are going to watch you jump on that zip line. I'm going to have a little giggle to myself.
Yep.
And it's been a great day. Thank you. Can't wait to do it myself.
Excellent. We'll put you on it very soon.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
And you just hold your weight up like that. Oh, okay. Just for like a couple seconds. Okay. And I'll run over and let his one go. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just letting your one go. Sweet. You're right. Yep. Cool. All right. Okay, so ready? Yeah. And 3, 2, 1, go! Woo! So it's 400 metres. Yeah.
Well, we're up to week 7 of the Bay Fair Bay Ride Premier Club Rugby competition, and we're almost halfway. And with me today is Trevor Albert, who is also a main rugby commentator in Rotorua, but also a rugby critic as well. Now, just like I just said, there's just past week 7, almost halfway. Yes. And there were some pretty amazing results from the local teams during the weekend, wasn't there?
Yes, it was. It was unfortunate that Waka couldn't come through as well on the weekend, but Waka has been going really, really well, and it was very surprising that they went down the previous week to Puna. But knowing the Waka club, they'll come back and come back strong.
Yeah. Now, Trevor, Waka is 5th on the table, and they're playing top dogs number 1 Te Puke. Do you know what the final score was?
Yes, 46-38.
Yeah, so that's pretty good, really, considering they're 5th playing the first team. That's a pretty high-scoring game.
Yep, it was. And but as I'm saying is that it was unfortunate the previous week when Waka was leading 24-0, and then went down to Te Puna in the last 10 minutes. So it just shows how close this comp really is.
Yeah. Would you nail that down to maybe just the last bit of fitness starting to dwindle in the game?
Possibility. Unfortunately, he was away with the local club that I follow, which is Rotorua, and didn't see the games. But knowing Waka, they could have just lacked off at that particular stage.
Yeah. Now, how many teams have we got in the Premier competition?
10.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like we said, Te Puke's number 1.
Yes.
Waka's right in the middle, number 5. How about the lower teams down the bottom of the table?
At the moment, the teams like Aporiki and Rangiru are struggling a wee bit, but most of those teams are built around whānau, which is, keeps these clubs going.
Yeah. And we do need those teams, don't we?
We definitely. I mean, having they're not that far off the pace, but Rangiru, their first year back up in Premier Division, as Pāro found out last year, it is a lot harder than a lot of people really realise. And if you haven't got the player numbers, it makes it even harder.
Yeah, I remember that when I was at school. We played some of the country teams, and they always struggled to get a 15 together.
Well, it's part of, but when they travel away is where mostly that they suffer. At home, everybody wants to play. But being these whānau teams, as I mentioned before, that though they keep getting beaten on these occasions, they will always come back.
Now, before we go, Trevor, let's have a quick chat about the Super 15. All the New Zealand teams had an awesome game, except for the Highlanders, who unfortunately lost. But the Chiefs seem to be back on form again. Yes,
it just shows now that that they've realised that they haven't got Aaron Cruden at the moment, that the replacement that they've brought in from move forward from the fullback Ascom has really settled in and is showing that he is a number 10 as well as a number 15. Yeah. So much so that he is now wanted in Wales for the Welsh international side.
Good on him, that's awesome, isn't it?
And he qualifies through his mother, who was born in Wales.
Yeah. Do you think it's pretty dangerous for teams to rely solely on a star player like Cruden?
Well, I have always been under the belief if a team has to rely on just one guy, they're not much of a team. Because at the end of the day, a game of rugby is 15 guys, not one. And you need to have your coaching system to an area where, if you lose one, that your replacement should know what he's doing.
Yeah. Now, we're almost out of time, Trevor, but before we go, like we said right at the start of the story, we're halfway through the season. Have you got your money on any teams to take out the competition?
Well,
was it too early to say?
Not being outright biased, but I'm hoping that Redidi may this may be Redidi's year.
Yeah. Well, the third, so they're not too far away.
Yes, they're sitting in the third spot at the moment, and the system that they're running with their development team is really working for them, because they are using a lot of their development players coming off the bench and going on as replacement players for the Premier side. So their future is looking good in the sense that they've utilised this development team to the max.
Very true. And the third also in Premier Development, so yeah.
Yes, and they're third in Premier Development. Only one point between them and their Premier side in points. So, that shows the system is working pretty close.
Yes. Well, we're looking forward to the end of the season. Like we said, we're almost halfway through, but a long way to go yet still.
Yes.
Appreciate your time. Thanks, Trevor.
If you have any news or an event that TV Rotorua can support, give the station a call on 07 3488 984, or you can email news@tvrotorua.co.nz. Thanks for joining us tonight. From all the team here at City News, for Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.